Good afternoon. How is everybody? Welcome to, I've completely forgotten the issue, which episode this is, but welcome to the latest diamond painting show. I'm one of your hosts. I'm Penny, Penelopes Pitstop, and here is my other host, Yorkshire Crafter.
Hello everybody, I'm Julie, the Yorkshire Crafter, and welcome to the show.
So, have you been up to much?
Oh, we've had a bit of an adventure, haven't we?
We've had a big adventure. I've had a very tiring adventure. So much so that I've not actually been able to do my homework. So I'm really, really sorry. I've not touched this since the last stream. With the move, it's just taken up so much of my time, and even coming back, things. And then what didn't help? This is a wonderful story. It is a wonderful story. I live in a Disney world. Things seem bleak and gloomy. There's always a happy ending. About 3 or 4 days before I was due to move house, my assignment came to an end. In fact, my last day would have been yesterday. They handed us a week's notice, which is fair, it is a temporary assignment. But funnily enough, the way that I got told, I wasn't told I'd lost my last job. I got told all about this wonderful new job. And the guy at the agency is like, "Oh yeah, we've got this job." And I go, "Are you trying to tell me that I've lost my job at Dartford?" He went, "Yeah, don't worry about that, love. But yeah, we've got this job." So, and that's how he kind of went. But I went for the drink and drug and test and driving assessment and passed. So, I mean, it is a formality. As long as you've got a bit of a sensible head about driving, obviously you don't go and put a litre of whiskey down your neck the morning of your driving assessment. So yeah, and it's just everything's all been a little bit up in arms. I've had to cancel a week's holiday, so I'm trying to get everything done within a few days. But that's the life of an agency driver.
Yeah.
So a couple of quick comments. We've got the wonderful Christine say, "Hello, Penny and Julie." Hello. Or as they would say, "Hello, darling."
Yes.
And then we've got Mark's Moz. "Hello, Penny and Julie." Hi to everyone. And you can say hello, darling, now, can't you?
Hello, sweetheart.
And then we've just got Chris Camping has just popped in. Always happy to see you, Chris.
Hi, Chris.
So, right. So, I do apologise. I've not really had time to organise a prop show, for which I apologise. I make half an excuse, but the bottom line is we haven't done it. So we're essentially going to have a whip and chat. Julie's got a couple of things that she wants to go over. We have gone over them in previous shows, but we feel it's important to go over them again. And it's just little problems that you will probably get with a lot of paintings, especially the Chinesey ones where they've been in a package for a long time. Obviously, if you get these really expensive ones from companies that are in your country and they're like one overnight delivery, you don't tend to get so many delivery associated problems. But for the ones we're going to go through, they are mostly associated with delivery. So do you want to kick us off? Oops, I've got the wrong person up there. So I believe the first one on your list, not actually to do with delivery, it's not really a problem. It's the difference between poured glue and double-sided tape.
Yes, it is. Yes.
Hello, Jasmine Jade, 75, and hello, Adrian. Sorry, I just got that one in there. So, what is poured glue and what is double-sided tape? And do you know the difference in terms of, for us, doing the diamond paintings?
Yeah, so the poured glue is, as it says, it's poured glue, and then they just lay a clear cover over the top.
I assume they have the canvas, they get a tub of glue and then they spread it all around, and then they get a piece of protective film.
I believe so. Yeah.
And I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, if you've got the clear, let's the other see-through piece of paper. If you have the see-through piece of paper, it tends to be poured glue, but it could have an opaque cover with poured glue. But generally, poured glue would have um, like your fruit and veg packaging type paper, see-through and
Yeah, yeah. They tend to go for the clear colour when it's poured glue, yeah, rather than the
yeah.
white or patterned paper.
So that leaves double-sided tape.
Yeah, so you can always tell a double-sided tape is always with the white cover, because when they
Yeah.
manufacture them, so when they print the canvas, they just lay that paper over and cut it, and then it's there. It's double-sided, so it's
Right. So the double-sided tape, and I've seen it for sale on AliExpress, and it comes in big rolls, and you just stick one end down and you sort of pull it and peel it, and then cut off the bit you want.
yeah,
I have actually noticed that the main difference that I feel where it's hand cut, you often notice sometimes that it isn't a square cut. Whereas
yes,
poured glue, it's obviously put a grid over the top, and then it pours into that because it tends to be. Um, I mean, this one that I've got, it is actually square, but I've noticed that if it's not quite, if it's a little bit off, it's probably because it's been cut by hand.
yeah.
So for the diamond painter, what is the difference between poured glue and double-sided tape? Is one stickier? Is one a bit more easier to work with?
In my opinion, the poured glue is better to work with, because
Right.
if, for example, you're just starting out, you're just learning, and you don't quite get it on the spot, you can move it. But with double-sided tape, it'll if you I don't know, if you do it a bit rough, you'll like scratch the double-sided adhesive, and then it won't be sticky anymore.
Right. And yeah. So also, yeah, what you're basically saying is like, let's see if I can. I'm going to wreck my diamond painting in. Whoops, that's the wrong camera. Sorry. So, in the interest of a show, I'm going to wreck my diamond painting. So, you see, I'm trying to slide this. It's actually, I don't know if you can see it, but you get little ripples.
It's
Now, you
probably,
can't really see it.
yeah,
So, when you push, yeah, you can't really see them. You can push it about,
yeah, you can, yeah,
but it's harder. And I have noticed with a poured glue, it's like it's more tacky than sticky. And I'm
yeah.
going to have to get rid of that because was that a tick, isn't it? Let's put it there, shall we? Okay, that's close enough, isn't it? So yeah, so this being double-sided tape is more sticky, whereas poured glue is tacky, if that makes sense. So obviously, if anybody in the audience has a question, please ask. Uh,
Yeah, yeah,
so the next thing that we've got is bubbles and rivers.
yeah.
So what is a bubble? What is a river? And what causes them? Sorry, I'm just going to get rid of my phone because people love. I think everyone in the world is psychic, and they wait till I'm online and then they send me a message. They, they know when I'm available and free, and no one sends me a message. As soon as I'm a bit busy, it's like bing, 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 bing. So, what's a bubble? What's a river? What causes them, or what can cause them?
Um, well, say for example, when you get a double-sided adhesive canvas rolled up on the foam rollers, the foam
Yeah.
tubes. and you go to flatten it out, and then you start pulling the cover back, and then for some reason you have to stop doing it and then go off and do something else. You'll come back and you'll pull that cover back again, and sometimes air can get stuck underneath it or something. You know, that's what can cause bubbles.
So basically the bottom of the tape hasn't stuck to the canvas.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's not been placed down properly. You know, like when you do, a good example I think is if you're laying vinyl on something, on a window, and you get those little bubbles, don't you?
Yeah.
So how would you get rid of a bubble, if you can get rid of it?
I use a craft knife. Just give me a second and I'll get mine. This was from my range store.
So that's also known as an extra. Oh, that's got
Exactly.
a blade on it.
Yeah. Comes with a spare 4 as well, so.
Oh, I don't think I could do myself so much damage for that one.
Yeah.
Oh, I've cut myself so much. I mean, I use this one, and it's got an actual surgeon's blade in it. Because
Wow.
these blades they're like 10 pence each, and I buy them in bulk, and they're super sharp, and I'll use it for about a week, and then I start using it for a couple of packages, and then I need to replace it, and it's just you just retract it a bit more, and then you yeah, always use pliers, but you basically just pull the blade off and put a new one in, and this is what that's the exact same blade they use for doing operations, and it is super sharp. If you cut yourself, you'll get down to the bone before you start feeling it. And I've cut myself so bad in the past that I thought, oh, I don't know if I can go into work, and and it's like you do a little bit of crafting, and then you get into work, and people are like, why have you got blood down your shirt? I'm like, oh no.
Oh,
You hadn't even realised you cut yourself. So yeah, that's obviously you've got a nice little lid on yours.
yeah.
I lose lids. That's why I go for a retractable one. But obviously, always be careful with knives.
Yeah.
So
all I do then is just scratch over the bubble, then lay the cover back down and sort of push it to try and push the air out.
yeah, which is pretty much how you would do vinyl on a window or something. You would just make a little cut, and then you just push all the air towards the middle. You just need somewhere for the air to escape.
Yeah.
So a river, that's something quite similar, isn't it? But that's usually, I'm going to switch over to my close up, because I can't show you a bubble because I don't have one, but I can show you a river. So basically, where the painting has been folded, usually during delivery, it's just caused a wrinkle, and no, still can't see it. Right, so trying to get a good angle on. Maybe if I turn this off, I've got to find the button first. I can't find the power switch. Right, there we go. Oh, I can't find it. Oh no. There we are.
Oh, there we go.
That bit of a crinkle in there, and that's just where it's been folded, and that is exactly the same way. You just get your knife, obviously expose it, and I just cut lots, light cuts. You want to cut through the tape or the glue, like so, as many times as you want, and then sometimes just for a bit of fun, I'll cut it across, and then like Julie says, just get your a little bit of a push, and you can now still see where the river was, but can you appreciate it's now flat?
Yeah.
I've deliberately left this piece of river alone So you can see there, look, it just comes to a stop. This piece is a piece I haven't done, and this is a piece I have done. So although it's been cut, it is flat. So obviously once I get the diamonds on there, that will cover all of that up. And that's how simple it is. That's how simple it is to remove it.
Yeah.
So Mark's Mods has said so many terms for diamond painting, it's like speaking a different language. Yes, I totally agree. There's a couple of words that for me doesn't make sense, but I find that most of the words, you're in the general ballpark. If you think, I mean, a river, what does a river do? Well, it flows, doesn't it? So you've got something, flowing through your painting. Confetti, well, no, we don't have little bits scattered all over the diamond painting, but confetti is basically something spread over a wide area. Bubbles, well, a bubble is a bubble, isn't it?
Yeah.
So yes, it's I can't think of any offhand, but there's a couple of words that I just think are a little bit strange, and I use the terms because that's what everybody else does. And if you start going, oh, I don't like that word, I'm going to use a different word, you've got like a million diamond painters going, what are you on about? What's that?
Mhm.
So you've got to kind of use the terminology. But I'd like to meet the person who came up with some of the words, and say, look, why did you use that word?
Yeah.
So double-sided cover not coming up or glue coming up.
Yeah. So again, it's back to the double-sided adhesive, the double-sided tape canvas. Like when I first showed you my diamond painting and I pulled the cover back and the double-sided tape wasn't staying on the canvas, it was coming up with the cover. So
Right.
basically you just rub it, you just heat it up a little bit in that corner and then try again slowly and it should solve it. It should stay.
That makes a lot of sense because there's I mean, going on to the partwork models and crafting, one of the tricks that I've always been taught, if you're sticking something with double-sided tape, hold it for a bit. You're actually not putting, it's not force you're after, it's actually the warmth from your fingertips. It's warming the glue and it makes it a bit more sticky. And obviously, these are probably made very, very quickly. They're probably targeted how many they can make. So they're putting the double-sided tape on and it may just miss. Or it just may not be, I don't know, may not have had time to set or whatever. But yeah, if you just, like say you put your hand on it, you warmed it, hairdryer, anything like that, excuse me, sorry, anything just to soften it and just makes that glue a bit tacky. Because glue, all objects are lazy, light, glue will give way on the less force. So there's less friction on the paper, so it'll always naturally want to come away from the paper before it comes away from the canvas. But if it's not stuck to the canvas, it's going to be easier for it to come off that. So you just got to make it work a little bit. And yeah. So you happy with that?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is my favourite one. Does anybody dare me to stick a piece of paper to my canvas?
No.
So what happens occasionally, and this has happened to me at least twice, so I know it happens to everybody else. Right, so obviously you try to look after your diamond painting as much as you possibly can. But so you've got your paper pulled back and you're doing your diamond painting and you're not really sure, so you refer to your piece of paper, and then you accidentally touch the diamond painting with your paper. Oh no. So you pull it as gently as you can, but I absolutely guarantee you I've got the
It's
paper.
not to panic.
Yeah. So you can either throw that in the bin because you think it's ruined, or you can do the most unbelievable trick. And I didn't believe this would work when I first did it, but I did it out of desperation because I didn't have any better ideas. So I'm just going to move my canvas just so it's got a bit more of a flat surface to work with. Just so it doesn't run around. So, baby wipes, and these cost me 50 pence for the packet, so they're not expensive. And all we're going to do is we are going to gently wipe away at the surface. Obviously, if you've got more paper stuck to it, it's going to take a little bit more effort. The first time I did this, I scraped away at the paper as gently as I could, and I scrape, and I must have been scraping at it for hours. So that is actually quite an effort needed on that one. But then you see that? That is still sticky. So you can remove the paper. Obviously there it's not sticky because there's paper. But yeah, you just get your baby wipe and you just push it along. I have absolutely no idea how this works, why this works, but I am so thankful it does work.
Yeah.
I wouldn't, oh, by the way, don't do this at home, guys. Don't deliberately stick a piece of paper on your diamond painting. I purposely bought these diamond paintings to do on stream on the basis that we can wreck them if we want to. How's my saying go? I ruin things so you don't have to.
Yes.
So let that dry for a bit, a couple of minutes. But look, all that paper's gone.
Yeah.
And the sticky's still there.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I want a little bit more there. But yeah, I mean, that was, if I'd have pulled a lot slower on that piece of paper, I wouldn't have had so much paper stuck to the actual design. But it's so yeah, there you go, guys. That is what happens if you accidentally, and I've done it genuinely twice, stuck it. In my opinion, you've lost a slight bit of sticky, not all of it, but I would say if you dropped your piece of paper on there, say 10 times, you would probably finally lose all the sticky. I'm trying to, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, that one's great feeling. Oh, maybe not. Maybe I just haven't let the wet wipe dry enough. But that is, you can see how sticky that is.
Yeah.
So what do you think of that, guys? Is that not the most amazing trick ever? You're sitting there crying your heart out because you think you've ruined your diamond painting, and then someone says, oh yeah, just wipe it with baby wipes, and you are just desperate enough to try it, and then that happens, and you're like, wow.
It's like magic.
Yeah. So, Love Mini says if your baby wipe dries out, then you can use it to paint marble. Okay, because it will give you a marbly effect. Sort of the opposite side of tie. You know, when you do tie dye, you rely on the texture, and I suppose if you're using that, yeah, okay. So it's basically texture painting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right. So, how to make squares straight. I love what you've written on your note. Rulers, old bank credit cards.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody
Expired cards
next
or
to
yeah.
the stream and display your credit card number live on stream to everybody. That was my first thought. Okay, so I'm going to have a quick cheat. Bear with me one sec.
Yeah.
We want to do a demo, don't we?
Yes.
Right. So I just picked a random blob, a random pot out of my wall that I'm doing. And it's always going to be a blue because I think 75% of the colours are blue. So what I will do, unless you want to do it,
No, you go.
I'm going to, we'll just find a, right. I'm assuming this is what you mean. Right, so. So, as you can see, I made a bit of a mess there. That was my very best diamond painting ever in the world, but it's just not come out very well. How can I fix that? Hello?
Oh, sorry. Right.
You meant by straightening diamonds when that happens. So they're a little bit too far down, some of them are a little bit out.
Yeah. So I tend to use 2 rulers. So sort of put them in a corner. So
Right.
as you
So,
say, it keeps them straight.
yeah. Okay, bear with me a sec. I don't think I have 2 rulers to hand. Sorry, guys, I did say I was very disorganized. Or have I? So when you say 2 rulers, you mean 2 flat edges.
Yeah.
So there's a reason I said it like that. Right, I did not want to stick that onto there, did I? I thought that would be a good idea. So for example, I could have stuck that down, and at an absolute push, perhaps I could have stuck this boat down, except it's got a rounded corner. So what that does, obviously you'll stick that ruler along the edge, not in the middle of the painting. And then you have your start point and you're working on the ruler. Obviously you would start in the corner like so. You can't see that, can you? So you see in the corner there's my first drill. So then I'm pushing up against the drill and the ruler. So that should lay that next one in straight. And the next one goes in against the ruler and the drill. And so on and so forth.
Yeah.
and if you're lucky, you get a little bit of a click. Did you hear that? You probably won't hear it because my microphone's round the corner. Am I better now?
Yeah.
Yeah, my microphone was. So you see, we've got a really, really straight line because what I've been doing there is jamming against the ruler. If you've got a little one that's just a little bit out, which I hope that one is just a little bit, you can get around that one by just pushing that one in, and it will slide that one down a little bit. So if you've got something like the pick-me-up pen, you do have a little bit on the end which can help you push things in, but when you come to pull all these away, hopefully that should be absolutely perfectly straight.
Yeah.
So it isn't cheating to use tools. No. But yeah, an ordinary ruler, I like this because of the flexibility, and also I don't use it, and if I don't use it for anything else, that's just me admitting I've wasted my money. So you place that along the line, and then you'll get another ruler along there. Obviously, once you've done all this lot. Sorry, once you've done all of this line, you don't necessarily need that ruler, but keep that one there as you work along. And then once you start getting to a corner, let me just push these in properly. So this one, to be honest with you, that one I would normally have just picked up with a tweezer and start again. And then this one I might push that way because it's a shorter distance, which now means I've twisted it. I did genuinely do that accidentally. But if it gets too much, just use your tweezers and just give it a twist. Or you can pull it up and start again. Or sometimes just carry on working around it. Once you've filled in all around, so we'll come into this one, and then one across there, and then one in the middle. It kind of helps sort it out. So, but yeah, using the ruler is a really, really good trick, and just to prove that the baby wipes work. Right, guys, just gonna have to ignore that. Bear with me one sec. This is the trouble with live builds, isn't it? People can ring you. So I put the phone under the pillow. That should help drown out the noise.
Oh, we have a question from Christine.
Yes, I did spot that. So do you want to read it out?
If you have a spot with no glue, I saw you could use clear nail varnish to stick the jewels to. Have either of you tried this? I haven't.
Yeah, I haven't. I had a problem before I discovered baby wipes, where I had a patch that wasn't sticky because I hadn't learnt the baby wipe trick. So, but I generally, for me, it's always worked that warming up the glue kind of helps, and work round it. I suppose I can see it working, and I think it would be more permanent than the glue, because obviously once that nail varnish. But let me try show you something. I haven't tried this. I didn't think of showing it, but I think it would perhaps be a better idea. I can find it. Looks like I can't. Right, so there is a glue called Tack-It. I think it's called Tack-It. It's a glue that doesn't dry. I suppose other brands are available, but basically it's a glue. It just stays tacky. I bought some to try out. I wanted to do a video on making your own customs, and I watched a YouTube video, and a young lady had suggested using it, and it was very good, and it looked very, very good. So obviously, if you've got something in your arsenal, whether it's designed for that purpose or another purpose, use it. So yeah, maybe well, to be able to try it, I've got to first have something with no glue. So I'd probably have to pick. Maybe we could try it one day. Should we try it next week, perhaps?
Yeah.
If I cut a little piece of the glue out of the canvas, because that's why I bought these canvases to muck around with. So if we tried sticking it with nail polish, clear nail varnish, and it ruins the painting, that's fine. That's what I've bought them for. So we'll do that next week then. So thank you for that question, Christine, and we will tackle it next week. But I would be more inclined to use a tacky glue.
Got nail varnish, but yeah.
Yeah. I suppose it doesn't matter what colour nail varnish you use because it's going to be underneath. But obviously, if you've got a round, you may see the colour. I hate clear lids. You're looking for them on the table and you can't see them. So, yeah, is there anything else that you want to go through? I'm trying to look at your questions. But yeah, so basically to create your starting edge, use something straight, stick it down and work off that straight edge, because whatever you work from, that's then going to be the basis. So by the time you get to, if you start off and it's not quite a straight edge, it's going to carry that non-straight edge all the way into the middle and possibly even beyond. So, and I also quite often, especially with squares, is when I've completed a line, I will then just get the ruler, and I'm trying to get the camera, and I will just push them all in with the ruler, just so that if there's any little rogue ones, because again, once you get a line that's not straight, none of the other lines are going to be straight. So just give them a bit of a push. You can get like little spatula things.
Hang on.
Oh, wonderful. You really are the lifesaver today.
I remembered my toolbox.
Yeah, that's it. So that is quite a handy little tool. If you really can't get hold of one, any shops that sell to caterers will probably give you a spatula for free. And usually, obviously they're designed for getting food products out of a big mixing bowl. But they are semicircular with a flat edge on them. And the companies give them away because they're advertising material. But that's really good, and that's a really good shape. That's specifically made for diamond painting.
Yeah.
But yeah, you could find places that give them. But then my miserly ways are kicking in there, aren't they? Everything I look at, I go, whoa, I could do that cheaper.
Yeah.
And that's just how I was brought up. Even if I had all the money in the world, I'd still do stuff on the cheap. So I wouldn't want all the money in the world because no one else would have any. Anything else? Do we have any questions from the audience? I'm just trying to think of anything. So obviously with regards to my design, I'm kind of a week behind now because I was meant to be doing, as I say, I'm been really, well, I'm going to be honest, I don't think I have been disorganized, but I think I've had other priorities. I think that's fair to say. The move has gone. The move has happened. Let's say that it could have gone better, but it could have gone a lot worse. And I got to meet you on Monday, didn't I? Along with Mark and Christine, and yeah, we decided. It all started off with I thought I'll get this van because I can't fit. I've only got a small car, and I thought I can't fit a whole bedroom in the back of my car, and it's 2-3 hours each way. So I thought I'll get a van and I can get everything in one go. Actually, I couldn't get. Um, sorry, I just caught that comment. I wasn't sure if it was a new comment. Love Mini says so you can take them off and put them back on again. Is that with regards to the tacky glue?
Displacing diamonds, you know, for twists.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yeah. So I said, I mean, I had some stuff to give to. Do I use a roller? Yes, I do. I use it once I might actually be able to find my roller. No, let's say I can't. Right. Do you? Yeah, lovely. So why do you use that then?
it's in case just any diamonds haven't gone down into the glue. Just
Yeah.
roll over the top of it, and you click, 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 click. It's wonderful.
Yeah. To be honest with you, what I use more than I use a roller, and it's the way I was brought up, is I use my fingers, and I just gently rub my hands over the top. There we are. There's one there, and as I did that, one of them popped out. So you can just feel for any diamonds. Just one finger's all you need. There's a bit of an area there, so yeah, I'd give that a bit of a push. There you go. There's a bit of a lump there, and I just think it's better if you use your finger. There is never any substitute for feel, but obviously you've got to know what you're feeling for. But what you're feeling for is relatively flat, and you'll just feel anything that's sticking up. So you go, look. As I put my finger over, it's actually lifted a diamond off the canvas. So what I'll do is I will discover where I got that from by looking for the hole, which is easy to spot. So now I will push that back in a little bit harder, and then I'll rub over. And actually, that whole area feels better now. And then I'll give it a roll. My roller's got a slightly more rubbery roller on it.
Yeah.
And I'll push down quite hard, and I'll just try and make sure they're stuck. So why that lifted up, I don't know exactly why. Maybe I hadn't pushed it in enough. Maybe the glue just wasn't sticky. Maybe I had pushed it down enough, but when I pushed the next one in, maybe that pushed it up. I don't know, but it's always check and use your roller if you've got one. But it's not the end of the world if you don't have one.
No, it's not.
So. Yeah, so yeah, I mean, I had stuff to give to Mark, and I thought it would probably cost about the same to post it as it would be to go up and see him. So it started off that I wanted to come up and see you both, and then I wanted to go and see Christine and Dave, and then by the time I'd gone to yours and then gone to theirs and then got back in time, they wouldn't have left me much time. So I persuaded both of them to meet in the middle, and then we invited a couple of other people, and there was 7 of us in the end. We had a jolly good day, didn't we? I mean, it was mostly more Route Master than anything else. Well, it was Route Master than anything else, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But we had a meal and we had a chat, and yeah, your husband's very tall.
He is.
I can't get over that.
But he is.
Yeah, as YouTubers, you just see our top half.
Yeah.
I could be 3 foot tall. I could be 8 foot tall. You really don't know. You get a grasp of if I'm big or small. And I did have a rough idea that he was large because his shoulders. But yeah, honestly, I'm talking to Mark like this. So yeah, no, it was a brilliant day. So we're going to have to organise more.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
yeah. Right. Okay. Would anybody object, unless you've got something else to bring up? Would anybody object to a short show?
Fine by me.
We will have a much better organised show for next week. We seem to be missing a couple of people that I wanted to see, but that's fine. People can watch this in the rerun. So apologies for not doing much. Oh, we've got some comments.
Yeah.
Paul 61, hello Miss Pitstop, nice to see you again, and Yorkshire Crafter. Always nice to see you too. It's always nice to see everybody. But yeah, so apologies. I'm being quite negative today, aren't I? So yeah, we will organise. Is there anything in particular anyone would like us to bring up? Obviously, I've now got to do the second row, so we'll be working on the third show. So it will be, well, this is the third show, but what should be the third show of 4, which is now going to be the fourth show of 5. But I was thinking, are you up for extending these shows beyond the 5?
No, no problem. Yeah.
At the moment, they will just quite literally be WiP and chats. So we'll both get our diamond paintings out. We'll just be doing, if we get an inch square done, we get an inch square done. If we only get a centimetre done, that's how it is. And we'll just, it's just more, it'll be more of a group meeting. So hello, Dave Say, how are you? Great show, enjoyed it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Christine, I nearly missed you there, Christine.
Christine,
I do apologise. So yeah, it'd be just nice if we can do a once a week show for about an hour where we can all get our diamond paintings out, and someone might type into the chat, "Oh, I've got this problem. This has happened," and then obviously we can attempt to address it. And we're still trying to get a guest on the show. She knows who we mean.
Yes, she does. Yes.
I'm quite a stubborn person. I'm confident that one day I will get them on the show. But yeah, but I won't force anyone to do anything they won't want to do. But I will. I've got a few people YouTubing that first initially said no, I don't think I'll be able to do it. This is the person. I have not been practicing, but I'm going to give it a go. So hello, all. Good morning. So that's Danielle Boudreau. Please say I got it right. I said 2 weeks ago, I apologize. I said I won't remember your name. But I think on the show, I tried so hard that I think I'm confident. Let's see what happens. So Mark's Mod says you could do a quiz while live diamond painting. I like that because I forget who it is, but there's 2 diamond paintings and they're Golden Girls fans. Yes, Danielle Boudreau. I got it right. I'm really, really pleased with myself. I know I've got a much simpler name, but I get quite offended when people pronounce my name wrong. I get phone calls from Indian call centres asking to speak to Penelope, and that does annoy me. So I wouldn't be shocked if Danielle was a little bit upset. But then if someone said to me, "Oh, I'm trying, I'll probably forget, but I will keep putting the effort in," then yeah, I'd be all right with that. Especially if perhaps someone's a different nationality. Well, it's a different nationality. Anyway, so we have 2 diamond painters that are Golden Girls fans, and they try to catch each other out with quizzes. They'll ask a question, and you have, like, it'll be from a particular episode, and it's quite good because obviously the audience can try and, you're sitting there thinking, oh yeah, because I wasn't like glued to Golden Girls every week, but I used to watch it when it was on, and every now and again they'll throw a question. I'm like, yeah, I remember that episode. Oh, what was the answer? So Yeah, maybe a quiz would be a good idea.
Yeah.
So,
There's one YouTuber that I watch. She's called Annie, but on YouTube she's Rosie Cozy Crafts, and
okay,
on a Monday night she does a quiz.
right.
So yeah, it's a very
Yeah, so we can consider that. So,
yeah.
I presume, Mark, you're talking like a general. Yeah, that's Jennifer with Golden Girls. Now I get a chuckle because it's a Cajun now. Okay. Yeah, so it's is it DP Adventures with Jennifer? And I believe she's just brought a book out, which unfortunately I haven't had a chance to look at.
Yes.
But I can't remember who she plays the Golden Girls game with. But they've also played this really weird game where they have, is it really badly spelt word, really weird words, and you have to say them, and it comes up with a phrase, and it's actually quite funny. But it's also it's quite funny when something is based in a different country. It's like catchphrase, for example. Many years ago, when catchphrase first came to Britain, all the catchphrases were American. So a lot of British people hadn't heard of the catchphrases, which made it a little bit more tricky. And that's the same with this game. So maybe we could get, for example, a pack of Trivial Pursuit cards, and we could throw each other questions.
No,
Q&As about ourselves would be absolutely fantastic, and there's no reason why you couldn't start doing that from next week now. 'Cause we're gonna finish in a few minutes, but I always welcome Q&As. The only thing that I will say is if I feel the question's a little bit too personal, I'll just say that I'm really sorry. I don't really want to answer that. But there's very few questions I won't answer. So Cal from Cal's Craft does that. Yeah. Mrs. Coffee started doing a Q&A, and I really enjoy that because you get to know. Obviously, you know the person from the stream, but when she's answering all these questions like how did she meet her husband and the kids and this, that, and the other, you start to get in there and you start to understand how she is. Especially Mrs. Coffee, because she has a few strong opinions and you just respect her opinions because it's her channel. But when she starts answering the Q&As, now you understand why she has these opinions, and now you totally respect the opinions of her, not because it's on her channel, but because you respect her right to have that opinion.
Yeah.
So yeah, always throw Q&As out as long as you're up for it. Oh yes, no doubt. Just say now you being too. No, it's not a case of being nosy. Obviously, everybody has a personal life, and people will let people into their personal lives to a point. And I always say, it's like someone, if you let someone in your house, you'll invite them through the front door and then they can see the color of your wallpaper. And then you'll invite them into the kitchen, and then you'll invite them into the dining room. But how often do you invite guests into your bedroom? So if you kind of ask questions that are in the bedroom of my mind, then that'll be a case of, so I'm probably getting a bit weird now. So, right. So, yeah, turn the weirdness switch off. No, I understand just being funny. Yeah, no, that's perfect. But one thing I will say is if it's a good question, maybe I reserve the right to ask the question back to you. But yeah, it's, I mean, obviously we're a little bit different or I'm a little bit different in the sense that diamond painting isn't the only thing I do, and I do hobbies that have got absolutely nothing to do with diamond painting. And it's lovely actually that I have the support of my non-diamond painting friends that are supporting me on this. but yeah, obviously, like people like Mrs. Coffee and Rachel Ray, they do craft, whereas I do. God, some of the videos I've put up, tidying my bedroom or putting new shelves up, that was a good one. And I've done the occasional painting video. I'm making larger scale models, which is why I felt I had to do the name change, because it's my little pit stop. Come and have a look at what I'm up to. So never know, if my cooking this afternoon goes very well, I might even pop the odd recipe up as well. I'm doing butter chicken today, but I'm doing a slight cheap butter chicken, whereas all the spices have all been mixed, and I just chuck it all in. But there's skill in boiling tomatoes and cutting chicken and cooking the rice. um, yeah. So you're a cooker as well, aren't you, Yorkshire?
I do more baking than cooking.
Right.
Mark does the
So is
cooking.
Mark the cook then, and you're the baker?
Yeah.
I've seen a few things that he's made, and yeah, there's a few times I want to invite myself around for Sunday dinner.
Yeah.
So yeah, I bet your kids are lovely and healthy, aren't they?
Oh yeah.
Because I can't abide families that just. There's nothing wrong with the odd bit of junk food, but if junk food is your staple diet, that's where I've been a little bit disappointed over the quarantine, the lockdown. The amount of takeaways has gone up, because people can't be. All right, fair enough. There's an element of I can't be bothered to stand 4 hours in the supermarket queue, or I can't stand in a queue for 4 hours. That's acceptable, but yeah, it's takeaway food. I know we all have our odd bit of, do you know what, can't be bothered to cook, let's have a takeaway. So yes, I have moved, Danielle. Danielle's just asked, were you not? Sorry, I'm going to go for it. Danielle Boudreau says, were you not moving last I seen you? Yes. So I did get that done. I moved. I went down to Newport on Friday. The lovely Adrian came up from his house somewhere in the Torquay region. I can't remember exactly where he is now. So I picked him up from Bristol, and then he stayed with me for a couple of days. So he had my bed, I had a camp bed, and funnily enough, we didn't fit everything into the van. We did. I mean, we did well getting what we got in, didn't we? You saw our van. It was absolutely. Oh. Basically, what I'd done is, because I know I've got a storage unit, and I didn't want to move one big pile of mess and make another big pile of mess. So I bought a load of archive boxes, and I labeled them all with certain things. And so, like, I've got Root Master Partwork magazines in one, and 3D print filament in another, and I've got all these boxes now in a storeroom. And I went down there this morning to pick a couple of bits up. I've took, obviously, where I've now lost my job and got a new one, I've still got the uniform from the oldest. That was really bad timing, that, wasn't it? I had 2 weeks holiday, and my last day before my holiday, I get a letter saying, oh, the assignment has come to an end. And I'm like, oh no, now I've got to sort out this. So yesterday I went for driving assessment, nailed it, and I start on Monday. But now my holiday's 1 week instead of 2. But I did overspend a bit anyway. So obviously I took some stuff down to the storage unit. I took all the uniform from the old job. I've had to wash loads and loads of white shirts ready for the new job. And then I'll be given some uniforms. So then the white shirts will go into storage, and then I'll have the new company uniform. And then when that job comes to an end, that uniform will go into a box. And if I go back to the same company as before, then that other stuff will come out of storage, or the white shirt, everything will get swapped around. And and I've now brought a storage unit out, and I've got a big suitcase that is just in the way, so I've chucked that into storage. And it was nice. I went down. I mean, it did take us a couple of hours to load everything into the storage, but it was arranged so nice that I went in with a trolley, and everything just went, "Hello, here we are, ready for you." And it was just, things stacked up, and so yeah, we all did a good job there. So yeah, I have moved, but I haven't finished sorting things out. But I have got my new screen behind me, because one, I don't really like showing my bedroom off. If for example one morning I'm one of these kind of people. I have no shame in saying one day I'll get up and I can't even be bothered to make bed, and another day it'll be quite neat. And with this behind it. But the other reason I'm doing it, I'm trying to do a green screen, and I am going to have a little play. It doesn't really work that well because the color, but it's a little bit fuzzy. That picture is the bus that I used to drive at the last company I worked for. That's parked up at a terminus, but you can see it's a little bit fuzzy, but I just like the idea of doing a green screen, and then when I'm doing a Spitfire, I can go maybe this. So sorry, can't talk. I'm in the middle of an air battle. But no, I mean, I was larking about with the guys yesterday, and I put this one up, and I said, "Can't talk long, guys. I'm in the middle of a layover," because I've done that before where we've had a Zoom chat or something, and I've been like 10-15 minute layover, and I've just got my phone and I've got my bus in the background. I go, "Yeah, hello guys, I'm just on a layover," and so that's why I brought that picture up. But yeah, I'm still working on the green screen. What I've got, this one's a little bit too light, and I tried buying a darker one, but I think it's too bluey. So what I'm going to do is get, is it called Dylon? It's a fabric dye, and you tip it into a bucket of water, and then you put the clothes or the items in the bucket, and you leave it.
Yeah.
And I've found this makes very little sense to me, but everybody, apparently everybody who does anything to do with colors understands it, but Pantone color. So I need to contact someone and say, I've got it here. I need Pantone 354. That means nothing to me, but anyone who deals with colors apparently will go, "Oh yes, it's this one. There you go." I suppose it's like if you go up to a random stranger in the street and say, "Yeah, I need DMC color 799." They'll go, "What?" Whereas if someone else asks, they'll go, "Yeah, here you go. There's 799. Sorry, I deliberately picked that number." Sorry, I didn't want to hog the screen, did I?
No.
So yeah, the green screen, it's good enough that I've got it as a little background. But when I get it all perfected, I'll start doing wacky pictures in the background, and then I'll sort of try and get maybe videos. So maybe we could have an episode of the Golden Girls going on in the background while we do a bit of whip and chatting. So yeah. Right, guys. So I'm thinking of ending the show as long as Julie is in agreement.
Yep.
So next week we'll organise. It'll probably be a little bit more of a whip and chat again. But obviously we'll have. Have you got your second row done on your painting? Yeah, I knew you would. Yeah. Good girls, Julie. Never does anything wrong. I bet you always had your homework in on time at school, didn't you? Well, that looks really nice, actually. That's really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you picked the right one there, didn't you? Yeah, that's really, really nice. Yeah. So, yeah. So, obviously, I will... you got nothing to do this week then, have you? Because I've got to try and get to the same stage as you. So, I'm showing you this, and I'm not even on camera. So I'll get this done during the week.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I can't give you a day for the next show.
Because you're starting a new job, yeah, so you won't know.
Monday. So I'm really sorry, guys. So shall we do a time, but not a day? And say the next show will be at 1 o'clock, but we don't know what. So then that way, what you can do is if you subscribe and hit the notifications on our channel, whatever 12:30 is in your country, if a notification hasn't popped up, then there's not going to be one that day. That's all I can say. I know that's really bad, and I really apologise. But as I say, new job starts Monday. I've told them that I would like to do late shifts. They're actually going to be paying me more for doing weekends. So I've told them I want to do every weekend. Money grabber, class A. If there's money to be grabbed, I am there. No, I can't. As a driver, I can't see the difference between driving on a Monday and driving on a. Well, Sunday's great. You don't get so many passengers.
Yeah.
So, yeah, here, Penny, drive an empty bus and we'll pay you more for it. That's a no-brainer for me. So, yeah, I've told them I want to do every weekend and have 2 days off in the week. I'd like to have one off on a Wednesday. Did that come out wrong? Is Chris Campbell watching? I hope not. Because Chris Campbell can pick up on anything I say and it instantly becomes a regrettable situation. So, yeah, but if I can get Wednesdays off, how do you feel about a 1 o'clock Wednesday show?
I was going to actually suggest a Wednesday because I know you've got other plans for Wednesday as well.
Well, if I've got Wednesdays off every Wednesday, then obviously I can do the Build a Route Master show on whoever's channel it's on. But if I'm off for the day, so does that work for everybody else? Well, I mean, obviously, if you can't make it live, you can always watch it afterwards. So, yeah, watch this space. We will say that the next show will be 1 o'clock, but unfortunately, because of the change in work, it was just bad timing, really, wasn't it? Don't go on holiday when you're an agency driver because you come back to no job. No, it's a little quick story actually. When my first agency bus driving job was in Newport, and we started that first week of September, and we knew full well we were finishing Christmas Eve because Christmas Eve was a Saturday, and well, actually, we knew we were finishing on the Monday or the Tuesday, something like that. And we said right at the beginning that will be extended to Christmas Eve because we have a minimum number of hours in the week. We have to be paid 40 hours, whether they give us 40 hours or not. So if they give us work on Monday and then we finish the contract, they've still got to pay us for 40 hours. So they may as well give us work for the whole week. And sure enough, it was extended to Christmas Eve because that was the last day of the week, and it was really funny because people were saying, "Oh, we really like you." I go, "Yeah, we're getting the push on Christmas Eve," and they're like, "What? How mean of them sacking you on Christmas Eve? How terrible!" And we're like, "No, it's all right. It is part of our job that we could be given a week's notice, and that's agency work for you. If anybody works agency, you'll know sometimes you don't even get a week. I've gone into jobs before and gone home the same day as soon as I got there because they said, well, we don't need agency anymore, really, really sorry. And if you're lucky, you might get an hour's pay. And obviously with the current situation, I'm actually very lucky to be working at all because they've been cutting services down so much that even if they didn't have enough staff, they have Newport, I think, have cut their shifts down to like 100 shifts down to about 15 because that's their Sunday service. Um, and obviously, we've had people that have been furloughed for 3 months. Well, they're all coming back now, aren't they? And they
Yeah.
want their rotor lines back. So, yeah. And I will say nothing bad about my last job at Dartford. I absolutely loved it. The management were wonderful. The staff there were wonderful. Um, some of the drivers complained about the state of the buses, but compared to what I was used to, I thought the buses were great. And the controllers were lovely. I can't, and they had a canteen, and you could go in every day and have a proper cooked meal every day. Obviously, you have to pay for it, but and I was very. I've got to show you this because I think I've got it. Yes. So Arriva operates a mystery shopper system, where you will get someone on your bus and you don't know they're a mystery shopper, and they feed back what you were like. And I got one, and I scored 90% because I answered one question. It's quite funny. I was happy but miffed. I was asked, does this bus go to a certain place? And I said, yes, it does. And he said, how long does it take? And I said, roughly 5 minutes, maybe a bit longer. And he says, oh, thank you. And he sat down. And that was what I did wrong, because what I should have said was, yes, it does go to there. It takes about 5-10 minutes. And I'd have scored 100%. But however, they gave me this little badge for mine to keep forever and ever. And it's not going to focus in. There we go. Little bronze badge for me to wear forever and ever. And I got a free meal in the canteen. If I'd have scored gold, I would have got a £25 voucher as well. So, and it's little touches like, oh, it's little touches like that that I think I do have a bit of pride in my job. But that has just increased the level of pride. So I will not say anything bad about the company I was at before. And I will go back there and they'll have me back. They wrote me a lovely letter when I left saying that you are more than welcome at this depot anytime. So we have gone way over our time now, haven't we? But a point of reference, we will never finish a stream early, never ever. Even if we plan to, I can't do it. It's just a physical impossibility. Mouth of Britain, me, I will keep going on forever. So yeah. So guys, we hope to see you next week.
Yep.
But I probably won't even know before Monday, Tuesday what I'm doing. So yeah, just keep looking on the notifications. I know that sounds like a little sneaky go on, subscribe to my channel. But yeah, that's the way it is at the moment. But once I get settled in the job, I'll know exactly what I'm doing. It actually looks like I might be able to do stuff more regular now. So
Yeah.
yes, as far as my new company is concerned, I don't know if I'm going to go to hell for this, but yes, I have to have Wednesdays off because I have to look after someone who's not well. Will that take me to hell, do you think?
No.
It's a big black lie. Right, guys, so unless you've got anything to add, Julie, I'm going to say goodbye.
Yep, that's fine by me. Yeah.
So, yeah, you'll get that next time. Do you know what? Yeah, thank you, Danielle. I presume you're talking about the badge, the mystery shopper badge. I hope I do get one with the next company. I can have a collection of I'm a good driver badges.
Yeah.
Right, guys. So I hope to see you next week. But thank you very much for watching. It really is appreciated. And yeah, have fun. And I will leave you with Yorkshire Crafter's absolutely wonderful saying that she always finishes shows with.
I've got to think now. You know when you have it rolling in your head and
Yeah, you say it every single time you stream, but you've forgotten it now.
um
Do you know what? Even I've forgotten it.
I've remembered it now. In a world where you can be anything, be kind. Bye, guys.
Take care, everyone.